Hi, I'm Despina Nicola from Dare to Begin Life Coaching, and today we're going to look at depression. And I want to tell you it in a story that I found from an amazing psychologist. Her name is Emma McAdam, and she's from the website In a Nutshell. And so here we go. I'm going to explain it through a story. Okay, so first of all, I want you to visualize yourself as a caveman. And even though we do things different today than what we did in the past, our brains haven't really changed much over the 5,000 years. So, um, yeah. So I want you to bring your attention to you as a caveman, and what you're wanting to do is help your tribe. So you want to build a bridge from one side of the river to the other side. And you're really eager to do this because you love your family, your tribe, you love these people, and you want to bring them the rich resources on the other side of the river. So there are goats, there are sheep, there are deer, there are fruit trees, there's a lot of plants, and it's just lush greenery there. So you want to erect this river in order to cross the river and be able to bring back to your tribe. And so eager to do this. You've seen bridges, how they're made. So eager to do this, you wake up every morning, you start cutting down trees, you chop them up, you work very hard day in and day out, and you start erecting the trees to bring back these resources from the other side of the river. And the idea of helping your family is just mind-blowing. You work hard constructing this bridge, and then you see that the river is much wider than the tallest tree. And so you can't actually reach the other side of the river with these trees. And so you have to think quite hard about how to do this. And so all of this energy and eagerness to attempt this task, the bridge collapses. So you're very upset because your attempts are not working. So you arrange the trees in a way to go over the river. And what happens is you use your stone axes, you sharpen them, you use stone tools, and days turn into nights, nights turn into days. You can't sleep. You're thinking about how to undertake the next day's work, trying again and again to cut these trees and attach them with posts, with sharp, and you shape the joints together, you put trees together to find the river swells and the bridge collapses again. Okay, finally, you do this again, and you've devoted months and months into erecting this bridge to find out that there is to come to no avail. You just can't join the bridge. You just can't erect it. There's no construct. And so your optimism and your hard work has just floated away. And you've exhausted your resources, and you're drained out. You're freezing from being all summer in the wet. The rivers and the water are starting to dry up, and summer's running out, and your body and your survival instincts are starting to kick in. And so, to your despair, you find out that you don't want to build this bridge anymore. That's your survival instinct saying no more. And so, this mind blowing idea has turned out to be a disaster for you. And you start to change your habits. So, what happens? You start to change your eating habits to reserve fat. You start to eat continually. And you start to gain a lot of weight, or you start to you might want to stop to conserve your energy. Okay, so you stop eating, and you just feel so depressed. You just don't want to work anymore on this bridge. The whole desire thing hasn't worked. You've had inadequate planning. You feel apathetic to work. You just lay in bed for many hours, day in and day out, and you feel lazy. You just want to sleep. But what your body is telling you is that it wants to heal. It wants to regain that muscle that it's lost. So it wants to place visiting friends and being with these people. It wants to detach from them and be in a cage. And it wants to revisit what happened with the bridge. So it revisits the experience of failure and construction. And again, it says, what went wrong? How did I fail? Am I dumb? Can I ever do this? I'm the dumbest bridge builder ever. Yeah. So, and then depression hits. So, with depression, these are symptoms. So, you might observe some of them, you might observe most of them, all of them. So, these are the symptoms of depression: trouble concentrating, trouble remembering things, trouble making decisions, fatigue, worthlessness, feeling of helplessness and hopelessness and pessimism, insomnia, maybe waking up too early or not, or sleeping too much, irritability, restlessness, loss of interest in things that you once found pleasurable, like sex, overeating, loss of an appetite, aches and pains, headaches, or cramps that won't go away, pessimistic feelings of sadness, persistent sadness, yeah, maybe, anxious or empty feelings, suicidal thoughts and attempt. Now, what's happening is, in the past, we worked more physically, so we used more manual power. Whereas in the modern contemporary life, we would see that as dysfunctional, using our manpower. We would use bulldozers and I don't know, other machinery to do things for us, that hard work. And so um, and so this is the difference. So in the caveman time, as he was lying in bed, not using any equipment, just thinking mentally, he had a thought, an unexpected thought. So, what he decided to do, this new idea, was he decided to bring large stones, dirt as pillars and build them up. And he used them to construct between the trees, and that gave him a better idea of how to cross the river. And he used cement. He found out how to make cement, and so he used rocks, he used stones, he cut stones, he used piles in the river, and he made that as part of the way across the river. And so he used the rocks to spend one part, and then he used the trees. And so, and and there you have it, a functioning bridge, and maybe the first bridge of its time. And so depression served a way to live and repair his energy levels and solve his problems. And so he gave up his hopelessness ideas, and he thought of another way that worked. So he changed his thinking habits. He needed an alternative way of thinking, and this is called cognitive behavioral therapy. So just like the bridge, the caveman, we must change our distorted ideas, our views, our opinions, into more promising, accepting thinking. And this creative hopelessness. So when you are feeling hopeless, you're feeling like a failure, don't be so hard on yourself. This is what creative hopelessness is. So instead of losing hope with your old way of thinking, you progress into creating a new way of achieving things. So instead of being mean and saying, what a loser I am, show compassion and love to yourself. Love your mistakes because it's a way of learning. Um, we can all build on our thinking. I think it was Albert Einstein that said, I can't remember. Anyway, he said something like, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. That doesn't work. Like you're doing the same thing over and over again, even though it doesn't work. That's how you build depression. And so depression is uncomfortable. But we can think more functional, but we must slow down and change the course of our thinking to a much better way of thinking. Well, thank you very much. That's been Nicola from Dare to Begin Life Coaching. If you're interested, you can purchase my book, Enough is Enough, A Helpful Guide to Managing Addiction, on Amazon, or you can join our Facebook group, which is Dare to Begin Life Coaching. It's a great Facebook group. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. And please subscribe. Bye.